Now, the next item is related sort of to those things, and that has to do with curiosity. See, these are all about kind of manipulating the emotion of the audience in the way you tell the story, which is what you're doing with everything you do in a story. But I mean, thinking about, well, what do we want the audience to be thinking about and feeling right at this point? Because if all they're doing is taking in the data of the story, or, oh, I see this happen, okay, that happened, that's not emotional involvement. So we want them, remember, we want to tap into that idea that they're trying to guess what's going to happen next. They're trying to, or they think they know. They don't always want to be right, but they think they know. So the next item is curiosity. And that means that there's a situation and we don't know either what it means or why the character's doing it or how that's going to turn out. Now, certainly there's an overall curiosity to find out how is the hero going to accomplish the goal that they have. A good example of that in one of the business presentations that we used as an example was Johann Hari, because he actually stimulated curiosity because his whole speech was about, I had a question and I wanted to find out the answer. And think how much stronger his speech was because he couched it that way rather than say, over the last few years, I've done research on depression and here's what I learned. Okay, that sounds like a lecture, not what could the answer be? Why don't you come with me on this journey and we're going to figure out what that is? And the question he posed is, what is the reason I'm depressed? What is the real cause of it? Is it true that it's just genetic, or is it true that it's just a malfunction? Or is it possible that there's some other reason? Is there an explanation for why, as I take more and more and more drugs until I reach the limit, I still keep getting depressed? And so our curiosity about what is he going to find out is the hook that keeps us involved in that story. Now, in all the examples you saw, in any story, we're going to be curious about how the hero is going to succeed. How is Al Zenick's father going to deal with this huge conflict that's been created by Al's mother when Al was a child? So we're wondering, what that is. But even within that story, when Al was talking about what might happen with his mother or what the situation was like, we're curious about, in a way, about what she's going to do next, because she had, psychological issues that made her very erratic in her behavior. So it's like, well, what is she going to do next? And how are these kids going to survive that? Because we didn't know, we were maybe anticipating that the father would be able to do something about it, but we weren't sure. So we're curious, is he going to get there in time and what's he going to do?